Today we're diving into a classic that's both a blast from the past and a hidden gem for many, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Released in 1993, this game is not just a mere arcade title. It's a unique blend of high-octane action and a glimpse into a bizarre, prehistoric, yet futuristic world that seems almost out of time. So why bother taking a look back on this game? Well, not only does Cadillacs and Dinosaurs bring cars and dinos together in a way that no game had dared before, but it also set a precedent in the gaming industry for storytelling and integrating comic book worlds into the interactive sphere. And let's be real, who doesn't want to see Cadillacs pitted against dinosaurs? This game marries the thrill of beating up baddies with the awe of prehistoric giants, all wrapped up in a setting that's straight out of a comic book. It's based on the comic series Xenozoic Tales by Mark Schultz, which presents a post-apocalyptic world where humans and dinosaurs coexist. The game captures this not with just its visuals and themes, but through a gameplay experience that was way ahead of its time. In today's run-through, we're going to look at how this game came to be, the waves it made in the gaming community, and why its legacy deserves to be talked about even decades after its release. Let's rev up those engines and take a journey back to the arcade era where dinosaurs roamed the earth and Cadillacs ruled the road. Get ready, this is going to be epic. Developed by Capcom, a powerhouse in the arcade gaming industry, this title was something of a daring venture. Capcom, already known for hits like Street Fighter and Final Fight, decided to take a plunge into the relatively untapped world of comic book adaptations with Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. The game was directly inspired by Xenozoic Tales, a comic series that began in 1987. What set this collaboration apart was the seamless way Capcom translated Mark Schultz's intricate world of the Xenozoic era, a period 600 years after the 20th century where humans and dinosaurs coexist, into a dynamic arcade experience. They didn't just use the name and some characters, they fully embraced the environmental and survival themes of the comics, weaving them deeply into the gameplay and narrative. The game's art style is a direct nod to the comic series it's based on. The characters are not just pixelated fighters, they are beautifully animated representations that stay true to Mark Schultz's original designs. Each character's appearance and animations reflect their personalities, from Jack's confident brawler swagger to Hannah's agile and precise movements. This attention to detail extends to the enemies and dinosaurs, each meticulously crafted to fit the post-apocalyptic world where the nature has taken back the planet. The backgrounds are another area where Cadillacs and Dinosaurs really goes all out. Instead of generic dystopian settings, the game features lush jungles, ruined cities overtaken by nature, and underground layers that add depth and atmosphere to each level. These aren't just your static backgrounds, but dynamic parts of the gameplay, with elements players can interact with, adding to the immersive experience. Bringing this game to arcades wasn't just a walk in the park. The development team faced the challenge of not only capturing the essence of the comic's detailed artwork, but also ensuring the game's mechanics supported the fast-paced, beat-em-up action that players expected from a Capcom title. They had to make sure that each character was distinct not just in looks, but in their fighting styles and abilities, reflecting their personalities and roles in the comics. Capcom's solution was to develop a game that didn't compromise on fast action or the depth of its source material. They implemented a variety of fighting techniques and range of weapons, which was a bit of a novelty for beat-em-ups at the time, where gameplay often leaned towards simplicity, plus the added challenge of environmental hazards and the need to use vehicles in combat sequences pushed the boundaries of traditional arcade games. The gameplay of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is where the game really sets itself apart from other beat-em-ups in the early 90s. While the essence of pounding enemies and progressing through levels is familiar, this game introduces several twists that keep it fresh and engaging. First off, the players can choose from 4 different characters: Jack, Hannah, Mustafa, and Mess. Each one isn't just a reskin with a different look, they come with unique movesets and special abilities that influence how players approach the game. Jack, for instance, is balanced in speed and power, making him a solid choice for beginners. In contrast, Mustafa's speed makes him ideal for hit-and-run tactics, offering a completely different playstyle. This diversity in character choice encourages replayability as each character offers a new way to experience the game. Moreover, the game innovates with its use of vehicles. In some levels, players can jump into Cadillacs and mow down enemies, which isn't just cool, it's a strategic element that adds depth to the usual punch and kick routine. These segments provide a temporary power boost and a feeling of invincibility that breaks the on-foot combat nicely, keeping the adrenaline pumping full bore. What really makes this gameplay stand out is the interactions with the environment and the use of power weapons. Players can pick up guns, but these aren't typical infinite ammo arcade blasters. Ammo is limited, which forces players to think about when and how to use these weapons. Environmental interactions also play a big role. You can smash barrels for items or use parts of scenery to take down groups of enemies, making the surroundings a tool rather than a backdrop. The gameplay also challenges players with a variety of enemies and bosses, each requiring different tactics to defeat, from knife-wielding goons to charging dinosaurs. The threats are diverse and require quick thinking and fast reflexes. This variety keeps the gameplay engaging from start to finish. The story of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is directly adapted from Mark Schultz's comic book, where humans and dinosaurs coexist in the future after a series of cataclysmic events. The story, of course, centers around our heroes, Jack, Tenrick, Hannah, Dundee, Mustafa, and Mess O'Bradovich, as they navigate this dangerous, reborn world. They aren't just fighting against random thugs though, they're up against the Black Marketeers, a group exploiting the dinosaurs and the environment for their own gain. This sets up a plot more complex than the usual save the damsel or defeat the big bad scenario common from other games of this era. The environmental themes are particularly potent. Unlike other games where the settings are just backdrops, Cadillac and Dinosaurs uses an environment to push its narrative forward. The game poses questions about conversations, balance with nature, and the impact of human greed, themes that were way ahead of its time for a 1993 arcade release. This relevance has only grown, resonating with modern audiences concerned with environmental conservation and sustainable living. Furthermore, the dynamic between the characters and their collective missions enhances the narrative depth. Each character has their own motivations and backstories that tie into a larger story. Jack, the mechanic and shaman, is deeply connected to the natural order, while Hannah, the diplomat and scientist, brings a perspective focused on peace and scientific understanding. Mustafa and Mess add their own flavors, from street-smart survival to brute strength and loyalty. This layering of character depth and narrative complexity, supported by rich thematic content, sets Cadillac and Dinosaurs apart in the realm of arcade games. It's not just about the action, it's about telling a story that matters, one that makes players think about their relationships with nature and one another. When Cadillacs and Dinosaurs hit the arcades in 1993, it wasn't just another beat-em-up. It was a visual and thematic spectacle that drew players in with its unique premise and kept them hooked with its deep gameplay and narrative. It quickly became a favorite for its innovative blend of action and storytelling, offering a more nuanced approach to arcade gaming. The game's reception was overwhelmingly positive. Gamers appreciated the depth of characters and environmental themes that were uncommon in arcade titles. The fusion of cars, dinosaurs, and a post-apocalyptic setting provided a fresh take that stood out amidst the typical offerings of the early 90s arcade scene. Its success was a testament to Capcom's ability to innovate within established genres, pushing the boundaries of what an arcade game could be. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs also had a broader audience influence on the industry itself. It demonstrated that games could successfully integrate complex stories and real-world themes into the fast-paced, action-driven format of arcade gaming. This has inspired countless developers to experiment with narrative depth in genres traditionally focused on gameplay over story. Additionally, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs holds a special place in the hearts of retro gaming enthusiasts. It's frequently featured in retrospectives and discussions about the golden age of arcades, often celebrated for its artistic achievements and groundbreaking approach to game design. The community's ongoing admiration ensures that new generations of gamers discover and appreciate its significance. And there you have it, folks. We've revved through the highs and the lows, the past and the present of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Steering through the wild jungles of its development, gameplay, and the cultural potholes it left behind. Who knew a game about driving classic cars and dodging dino drool could offer such deep insights into environmentalism and still be a blast to play today? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs might not have the pixel count of today's games, but it packs a punch with its pixel art that could knock the socks off of any modern HD sprite. And let's be real, in a world where every other game seems to be about building, battling, or both, who doesn't want to spend some time bashing bad guys in a Cadillac? As we park our Cadillacs at the end of this retro ride, let's not forget the lessons this game has driven home. Simplicity is timeless, stories are powerful, and dinosaurs in any medium are just flat out cool. Whether you're a game developer, a player, or just someone who appreciates a good dino demolition derby, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs has something for everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, keep those game engines running and beware of low-flying pterodactyls. They're trickier than they look. If you enjoyed exploring the history and making of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And, as always, thank you for watching.